We got to see Liberal leader John Hogan square off against Progressive Conservative leader Tony Wakeham and NDP leader Jim Dinn. All three of these men, this is their first election running as leaders of their party. And it was kind of a first opportunity to see how they would perform in a head-to-head debate-like situation. I'd say all around it was fairly tame. It was pretty low-key. And there was a great question from a woman in Happy Valley Goose Bay in Labrador who asked what could possibly be done about the absolutely exorbitant food prices along the north coast of Labrador. The leaders kind of responded by just going back over their previous promises. Eventually, we got around to NDP leader Jim Dinn talking about how his party supports a guaranteed basic income, or at least some kind of bottom income below which people cannot fall beneath. And so he said, that kind of a solution could help the food prices in Northern Labrador. They also talked a lot about healthcare. We really struggle with our healthcare system, as does everyone across Canada. They talked a lot about housing. They talked about what is needed here to retain immigrants. We have long had a declining population, particularly in rural parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, and we've relied on immigration. We've been really trying to bring people in to kind of bolster our numbers. We haven't had any polls released about how the public are leaning as we head into the vote. We saw an opinion poll from Narrative Research just recently. And so the poll they released was taken over the summer. They said that they had trouble contacting people because we had so many wildfires. People were evacuated everywhere. So they urged caution with that, just saying like it was taken over quite a long period of time. And it was in the summertime. It wasn't like a heading into the election poll. But that showed wide support for the Liberals. It's hard to tell what's going to happen. I think that if you look at the federal election, we saw the Conservatives pick up a number of seats in rural Newfoundland. We saw a real rural-urban divide there. We may see that again. We may see the Progressive Conservatives do quite well in rural Newfoundland. Tony Wakeham, the leader of the Progressive Conservatives, has really been hammering on this idea that the Liberals have been in power for 10 years. And things are not easier. So we'll see how that all shakes out. When the election was called, the Liberals had 19 of 40 seats. The Progressive Conservatives had 14 of 40 seats, and the NDP had 1 seat. And then we had 2 independents, and we had 4 seats empty.